Well, alright, hello everybody and welcome back to another Trying to Fix video. In this video, I have for you this, I don't even know what it's called. Let's see. User's manual. I don't know, it doesn't have a name. But either way, he's a little astronaut guy who does a pretty cool little light show. If I can get it to work. Although my power bank just turned off on me that I have it plugged into. There it goes. He's a little astronaut guy who does a little light show, and kind of looks like that. It's got a cool nebula. It actually looks really cool in a dark room. So my kids got this for one of their birthdays that recently happened, and they love playing with this thing. The head is like magnetic. It's on a swivel, and you can turn it any direction. Get it on the ceiling, get it on the walls. But unfortunately, one of the children accidentally knocked it down, and it hit the ground. We picked it back up, turned it back on. It looked like it was fine, but when you turn it to a certain angle, if it's like this, it seems to be fine for the most part. It's a little touchy, but if you sit it up, it's supposed to sit like this, and you swivel this head and everything, and it doesn't turn on at all like this. But like this, it usually can turn on, and then it just turns itself off when you tip it up. There's definitely something rattling around in it when I shake it, so I'm not sure what broke or what could be causing this to, work from this position. But then I actually turned that one off myself. But then when you tip it, it stops working. So I'm assuming there's some type of loose connection in this. I'm going to unplug this, and I'm going to start taking this thing apart, and we're going to see what we can find. I honestly don't even know where to start. Is it probably a loose connection that's in here in the power side, or is it probably... The rattling is definitely coming from the headpiece, so I'm going to assume it's in the headpiece somewhere. So let's get some screwdrivers and try to start taking this thing apart and see if we can find the cause of this intermittent power situation and make my kids happy again. Barely long enough to get in that one. There we go. Got it though. Is it just the 3 screws potentially? Yeah. Definitely has a sticker about the warning. It's a laser. Guys, don't look at it when I turn it on. Let's see if we can remove this. Oh, it's just a paper sticker, so that's not going back on. Okay. Okay, there we go. It is open. Okay, that's interesting. So this is the metal piece that makes it, the magnet stick to it so it can rotate. This, however, was not at all connected. How did that stay in? Okay, so it goes like this because this lens looks out the front, which has... I thought it was a piece of plastic. It looks like it's a piece of glue. Okay, so it looks like it's a piece of glue, hot glue, that came out. Because it looks like that metal piece was held in with hot glue here, which clearly isn't the case anymore. Is that what was rattling though? Yeah, so the rattling actually might have just been this piece right here being loose in there since it was not connected anymore. If this is supposed to go like this, does it connect into anything? What holds it in place? Okay, there's clips. Okay, I see. There's 2 clips here. Ooh, one of these clips is definitely broken. Okay. Yep, so one of the clips was broken off. This clip is still fine. That one was hanging on by a thread. There was, it looks like, also super glue, hot glue over those edges. So, yeah, interesting. Looking at the board itself and the wires, oh wow. This piece here, whatever it is, it's loose. Is it supposed to be loose? What is it? What does it do? See if I can zoom you in on what I'm looking at here. It's this circuit board right here, just kind of is loose. Okay, that looks like it's fine because I don't know how well you can see it down there. There's a globe that it's just an LED that's shining directly into the globe, and that's probably refracting the light to make it come out here in that cool pattern. So it probably doesn't have to be exact as long as it's making contact and shining up through there. So I'm betting that's okay. I am kind of surprised that it's not held on by something else. Okay, so knowing that, let's plug this back in and see if I can find out how manipulating it is changing things. So I plug it in. Do this in a way that I can get to the power button. Okay, when is the power button? What is the angle of this thing? Also see if it's this body at all. Okay, nothing's actually turning on here. Let me get something else connected to this power bank so I can at least validate that it's actually sending out power before I blame this as a fault of this and it's actually this power bank not doing what it's supposed to do. Okay, here we go. I got it plugged into my ammeter here so you can actually see an output reading and what it's drawing, and I got it to turn back on. If I touch some wires, I'm trying to see if anything makes it short out. Move this around. Okay, this all seems to be fine. It's still in this body. Okay, I think I took the head apart for no reason because I believe the problem is somewhere in the body, because this I can kind of manipulate all I want. The second I turn this, it turns off. I was not expecting that, I'll be honest. I was... solder stuck to it. I mean, could it be the cable? Oh. Is it just a cable issue? If I hold the cable perfectly still, it's fine. It seems... I wonder if when it dropped, it ripped at the cable and it broke some strands in there. I guess the question is... wouldn't I be able to get it to turn back on? There we go. Turn back on. So I guess it could be the cable itself, but it could also be maybe something's wrong with the connector in here. So I guess to test that, I will get out my multimeter, which I just had it out for another project. And, oh no. There it is. Unless I don't know where I placed it. Here it is. Okay. So this will be maybe an easier fix than I thought. So let's go to voltage DC. We're not pulling anything now. Can I just turn this on? Will it start running again? There it goes. Okay. So I'm assuming it's center pin positive. Or center pin negative, I mean. No, I should assume it's center pin positive without looking at it. I am getting nothing. Here we go. So yeah, it is center pin positive because I'm getting negative voltage with the negative lead in there right now. Okay, yeah, this is straight up this cable having an issue. The question is it just at that end? How am I going to correct this? I might not need to correct this. I might just be able to find a different power cord that has the same output rating. So it's going to be what, a 5 volt output with this style barrel. Let me just see if I can find one of those, and then we'll know what the problem is. And I might not have to worry about trying to fix this because I think this is going to be kind of a difficult fix to make very permanent. Though, what I could do instead, I could open this thing up and solder directly into the unit, because I don't need something that can plug in and unplug. There's no, you can't use this thing without it being plugged into power. So there's no reason to have it be able to be disconnected. Maybe I will do that if I can get into here, but I don't know how you get into this. There's no screws on it. It looks like it's just clamped together, but is it like glued and going to be very difficult to get on or to get off and risk breaking it? That I don't know. Let me see if it's just... Ooh, yeah, this looks like it's going to be destructive to try to do that. All that is doing... Okay, I was going to say all that's doing is sending power, but that's not entirely true because it's sending all the controls from the buttons as well. Oh, wait, hold on. There's 4 little pads here. I thought these were buttons. These are not buttons. These very well could be covers for where screws are. Let's see if I can get one of them off. I don't want to damage it, but at the same time, I don't know how to pop this thing off. It looks like it's supposed to come out. Wait, this one started too. Here we go. There we go. There's screws under here. So let me open this thing up. Much better. Okay, that was easy. Put him to the side. You can see the power must come in through here, through these 2 holes here. So those will be very simple to solder onto. What's that side? Can I just have it come out this hole? Yeah, it looks like there's, oh, that's where this goes. Oh, I can actually, yeah, I can snake it right in here with this, I could even snake it all the way up through the top. I'd have to cut the zip ties, or I'll be able to just fish it in next to it. I have a couple options there. We will see how we want to do this. I think I am going to just go ahead and give myself just a little bit of extra. Make sure I'm unplugged. Not that 5-volt DC is going to be that damaging. Let me see if I can snake this through like this. I cannot. There we go. Perfect. Look at that. So now it snakes in. It'll pass through this. I will then just have to route it over to here. I gotta find out which one of these is positive, which one's negative. I don't see it marked. No, it's not marked. So I'm gonna have to go to continuity here. We know it's center pin positive. So the outside, I'm just touching the ground. So this interior one seems to be the... It's hard to get good focus. So right now I can just keep touching both. I want to touch just the center. There we go. Yeah, so the exterior one is the center, which is the positive, and the one that's closer to the middle of the board is the ground, or the negative. So, hold on, waiting. Let's get my soldering station up and running. That didn't work. It didn't work at all. I don't have the greatest strippers in the world. That is definitely going to be a problem. Oh, this is just two distinct... Oh, wow. I've never seen that before. It is two distinct straight braided cords. That run up to the end. That's actually going to be very difficult to not have these things touch. How does that work? Are they enameled? No. Okay, then. Oh, here's the other difficult part. Finding out which one of these is positive and which one is negative. I wonder if it would be easier to get a different cord that's made differently, a different USB cord, just something I have lying around. I'll break that one. I think I'm going to do that. Let me find a replacement cord to solder in here, because this one is not made the way that I thought it was going to be. I think it just might be very difficult, and I very much worry that I would connect it. I'm going to also just try to peel back a little farther down to see if it's the same. Yep, it's the exact same. Yeah, that is no wonder this thing broke, actually. So what I'm guessing now is understanding how this cable was made and how thin this is and how it seems to be unenameled or non-enameled cable. It probably just fell, and the cord is shorting every so often because there was just an issue with the cord. The integrity of it is gone, and when it shorts together, it's kicking the whole thing out. So, makes sense to me now what happened based on what I'm experiencing. So now let's just fix it. Let me grab a cord. Okay, well, went back to the original idea. Instead of when I was looking for another USB cord to use to fix this thing, I ended up finding an exact size barrel that's a 5-volt plug, and it is a normal wall wart. It's not a USB, but that doesn't really matter. But it fits perfectly. It's the right, voltage, and this thing works perfectly fine now. So I'm just gonna get it put back together. All it needed was a new cord at the end of the day, but it's kind of cool to see how this happened and actually diagnose what it was, because I was definitely not anticipating it was the cord based on the way things were happening, especially when it was just tipping him over just slightly and hearing a rattle. I was 100% sure something had came loose and was inside and maybe causing a short or coming disconnected. I did not think that was going to be a cord issue. So let me get this thing put back together as best I can and show you guys this thing fully working at the end of the day. With basically the fix was to replace the cord, but it was kind of cool experimentation to see what the problem actually was. So all right, he is all back together. I hot glued the metal plate back in, and I made sure the piece with the clip that broke off is staying in there a little bit tighter with some tape holding it into place. Hopefully it doesn't come loose or anything. I just got to put these little caps back on. And as you can see, he is fully functional. It was just that cord, because this cord I can hold him in any direction I want. He is perfectly happy. So while I'm putting these caps back on, it's interesting that this came down to just a really cheap cord. And let me turn him off so that he doesn't off. Uh-oh. Well, that's odd. The off button isn't turning him off anymore. Well, it works. You can always unplug him. I guess that would have been a problem that I just hardwired something into it. So I was looking back at it, and I could have done that. So I was tearing into this cord a little bit more. Let me zoom in on it and show you here if it focuses. They are separated in normal coated wires that are in there. They're just so fragile that it's so easy to just grab it and pull a piece off just with my fingernail. So that's why I kept, when I was trying to strip it back, it just kept stripping the outer sheathing of these interior wires off, and it made it look like it was just too straight up, in the normal internal part of the wire. running down this cable separated by a thin layer of insulation from this major cable itself. But they actually are run as two separate wires, but they are very, very, very fragile, like I said. So I think any slight bend in this cable would have just like rendered this thing useless. So I'm glad to have gotten rid of this cable for something else that's going to work. So like I said, not a difficult fix, as it was just literally a power cable problem. But I will take this thing down and show you now in a dark room what it does and why my kids like it so much, because it's pretty cool, why I wanted to fix it. So you can see a nice goodbye to this video with seeing the final working product in its environment that it's supposed to be in, sort of. All right, here we are. And the reason I said sort of and why you hear an echo is because this isn't really where you use this thing. This is in the bathroom, because it's an interior room of my house that doesn't have windows, so it gets nice and dark in here, and I can show you what this thing does. But as you can see, it's got a nice laser light show going on all over the place. It's projecting it all over the ceiling. This head swivels up so you can like aim it more at the ceiling, and then it's kind of close to it, but that's the nebula that it shows, and you can change the color of the nebula. It's really cool. It does come with a remote as well. Let's see if the power button on the remote works. Yep, power button on the remote actually works, so I don't know why the power button on the back of this guy was not working a minute ago, but we can at least turn it off with the remote. Let me try that again. Yeah, power button is just not working for some reason, which is fine. It works to turn it on, but I can, change the nebula colors and things like that. But I'm really happy this little guy is now back up and functional, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.